Clap your hands, stamp your feet and make some noise for the one, the only. Keep it up for man like Leo.
Real niggas in my circle, real women in my circle, only family in my circle, no snakes in my circle.
Clap them hands, stamp them feet and make some noise for the one, the only. Let's go!
Fuck them other bitches who don't rock with us. Only fast side shit ain't no thoughts with us. Chanel round shades like binoculars. Diamond nose ring, they think pop with us. I give you every penny like Oscar. She fucked on the Hoover and the boxer. Came to my crib, in 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 my crib.
You know, Tay, the first thing I want to tell you is, I love you. And I'm proud of you. Like, super proud of what you've achieved and where you're going, yeah? And I think, man, them in the building, we need to understand, right, that we have to show this vulnerable side, this emotional side of us, the soft side that we keep locked in our head all the time. And we've been programmed from early to be this hard alpha male. But you see, with your youths, if you don't show that side, and in the story I'm about to tell, you won't get the balance to unlock a tool in the toolbox of parenting that we sometimes miss. And it's not a beating. Like, I've never beaten Tay.
You body slam me though.
All right, yeah. No. Fair Jews, I body slammed him, but that is... that was a life-saving technique. You know, like the recovery position? That's what that was, big man. You wasn't breathing properly. No, you wasn't. You wasn't breathing properly, and you needed to just be checked. So the body slam was the check, you know? But I believe, and I don't look at nobody, I grew up on a beating. Yeah, my mum beat me, I grew up on a beating. So I don't look at nobody that, if they use that, if that's their method, I don't ever look on them like, wow, you shouldn't beat your child. That's not what it is. It's about opening up other tools in your toolbox as a parent that sometimes we miss because we don't have the patience, or life can be too busy, or if you're a single parent mom, you're working 1 job, 2 jobs, and you might not have the time to actually implement this, you know? But in this story, I guess, I come close to beating Tay, though. And I'm going to tell this story, and I hope that this opens up a couple of messages, but yeah, I come close to beating him. But I guess you lot need context to understand this.
Which time?
What?
Which time?
The time you got nicked, big man. At this moment, I'm like Batman and Superman. I'm in the phone box putting on my clothes. The light is in the sky. I gotta save my son. Yeah, that's.
Why did he take so long?
What do you mean? Oh, we're gonna get to that. Oh, we're gonna get to that one. Yeah, I tell you why we got so. I tell you why it took so long. My wife said to the police officer, "No, I'm going to sleep and I'm gonna wake up and have breakfast, and he can sit there and think about his actions, and we'll arrive when we arrive." You see, when I looked at her, I said, "You're talking the hardest. She's talking the hardest. Anyway, she goes with us." But anyway, remember, I'm in Superman, Batman mode right now. I just want to save my child. Yeah, that's us. That's men. We just want to save our child. So let me tell you about my experience as a parent when I rolled up to Sorry Custody Suite. I walked through the door. The first thing that happened to me is my PTSD kicked in. My PTSD kicked in because there's a man in a uniform standing in front of me who's got the key to my son. He's telling me when I can see him, when I can speak to him. Yeah? And obviously my journey, I never come out here and I'm not perfect, yeah? My journey is not perfect, but I learn from my mistakes. I'm dealing with sadness because my son's a bit locked up. I'm dealing with anger because why am I here? I'm dealing with feeling shame because I got people looking at me like, why is my son out at 2 o'clock in the morning? I guess my question to you is this, Tay. Why is it you haven't continued the same behavior or taken the same path?
The truth is, it's very hard. No matter how big you are and whatever you, I'm not saying I was sorry. I'm not saying I was mad.
Did the F word just slip out?
Sorry. I'm not saying I was a mad whatever, but it's very hard when your social circle and your friends do whatever. But I guess what made me stop and actually say no, even when it feels hard to, is Dad was busting his back for social media. Because remember, I got arrested whilst we started social media. But then he started actually busting his back, and I was like, if I mess up again and get caught again, that's just he's gonna be done. He's gonna be done with me. And then I just thought, I guess I just gotta believe in it. And I didn't really want to disappoint you when, you know what I mean?
That's the key word. That's what I was waiting.
Yeah, make some noise for that. Make some noise.
This is just my perspective. I'm not out here telling no one to do what they got to do, yeah? But man, then, if you can't be vulnerable with your child and show that I love you and I'm proud, you will never open the toolbox. That tool in your toolbox, which is disappointment. It's a bigger tool than a beating. When your child fears you because of disappointment, and this is for the single parent mums, because I come from a single parent mum family. I know it's easy for you to jump in your masculine self and say, my son hasn't got a dad in his life and I need to be masculine and hard with him. But it has to be balanced. Because all you're gonna do is program the child to be hard or think that violence is the answer. Yeah? When you beat your child on a regular, I'm not saying some children, you might need a beating certain time, young man. You might just cross the line too far. But I'm just saying, yeah? Disappointment is the biggest tool in a parent's toolbox, and that is what I wanted my son to say on stage. And I wasn't gonna force him to say it. This is not scripted, but that is the biggest tool. So that when I leave you with this, is balance. Try and keep the balance. Don't think that you have to be so masculine, because when you get to this age, it's a detriment, because they don't fear a beating no more. I want to ask you a question, one of you lot. I want one of you lot to answer this question for me, yeah? I get nicked with a kilo of cocaine, yeah? What's my consequence?
What I think is that drugs will lead you to you're getting used to it, so you're going to try out and experiment on more things like vapes, other drugs, stuff like that, and that could lead to like jail time if you get caught, especially with the amount of drugs that is. So yeah.
You see you know why I like you? Because you understand how it builds up. That wasn't the question I was asking, but you know why I like you? Because you understand that it starts from a small place by smoking weed, right? You have to, how do I maintain my habit when it becomes a habit? So we're socializing and smoking and we're giggling and laughing, and then it comes to I'm addicted to it. So now what am I going to think? How am I going to keep smoking weed? I have to sell some weed to have free weed. Then I do these illicit transactions with people, and now somebody says to me, well, you know what, if you go to class A's, you can make more money than class B's and C's. That's how it works. But the question I asked, I want to go back. I don't want to come off track, but you see you're intelligent. Keep that mindset, you know.
Give him a round of applause.
This is what I want to talk about. It's the unforeseen consequences, yeah? So you go to jail. That is the consequence. Everybody says, and you know what I think pisses me off the most, excuse my French, is people say, I can go to jail, I can do this, I can do 2 years, I can do that, like it's nothing. I'm going to tell you a couple of unforeseen consequences to going to jail. So imagine you get nicked with your kilo of cocaine. You go to jail. First time you've been to jail. You got to learn a new environment, a new world. Your first visit is to tell you that your second parent passed away. Your second parent has died. But you're locked behind a door though. But you didn't see that when you was selling a product. That wasn't your consequence. Your consequence was, well, I'm going to go to jail. You was talking this hype talk like, it's jail, I can do it. It's just a bit of time. The reward outweighs the risk. Until now, I'm going to tell you that your first visit is to tell you that your second parent died. Everything I talk, yeah, everything I'm talking to you, I didn't read this in a book. You see, the mental side of jail, the mental side of jail is what you should fear. Not fights or who's a bad man on the wing. A bruise can heal. I'll give you another example. You're in your cell. Your cellmate next door is cooking in his cell, but he's got sickle cell and he's get rushed to hospital. Now, when you're cooking in your cell, it's a lead with two metal elements that's in a bucket. He's been rushed to hospital, the gloves haven't seen it. Now the bucket, the water has evaporated in the bucket, and now the bucket has turned on fire. So I'm in my cell minding my own business, and the smoke comes underneath the cell. What do you think happened? Do you think the glove opened the door? The glove said to me, go by my window and kneel down. That's what the glove told me. In that moment, I am thinking I'm going to die because the smoke's coming in and it's got nowhere to go out fast. Why? Because the windows only have small vents. You can't look out and see a bright sunny day. That's not what jail's about. So it's the unforeseen consequences I really need you lot to understand about, yeah? That it's the mental behind the door and it's not the physical. If anybody that's been in jail right now, tell me I'm lying. Somebody tell me I'm lying. Is it the mental or the physical? I wait for you to scream it. Is it the mental or the physical? I need you lot to understand, yeah? I need you lot to understand. And let me tell you, I'm not proud of my actions. I'm a human being and I make a mistake. But what I done was I learned from my mistake. Once I've been to that place. Once. And I will never go back there again. Although I was trapped and I had a mindset then, this is me now. I learned from my journey and everybody has a journey. So I want to leave this first interval knowing that you are going to make mistakes. You're going to make 1,000 mistakes. But you see your mum, you see your auntie, if they can save you from a couple, just listen to them. Because you're going to make 1,000 on your own. That's all I got to say. Yo, Chris.
So let's get straight to the point, because there's a few things that I can't hide. You see, growing up, I was known as a joker. But if the joker was showing you anything, is that every clown has a dark side. You see, when you're mentally down and you're going through all of those hard times, people want to find out if you're okay. You say yes, but you know that you aren't fine, because depression is crazy. I'm thinking, how did I get here? You see, when it came to drinking, I was like Will Smith. I would leave Fresh Prince on the Bel Air, because I thought that I never mattered. And trust me, you hit the nail on the head if you clock that I love getting hammered. Because you see, as people, we don't ever look for advice. No, we just look for a vice, and as a result, we end up balling. Because when you're balling, you don't really care for the price. But that's what it's like as a man when you don't have a plan. What do you know about losing the plot? And you're not even fighting for land. You see, my whole life was a sham. Because I was on track but still doing road, as if I was driving a tram. See, I know what it's like to be judged without ever taking a stand. I know guys that have turned into addicts and spent all day sniffing up grams, and dealers promoting that white power as if they work for the clan. Now you see, as people, we don't help each other enough. And I'm not gonna force it, but I am gonna talk it. Because it's like if you're not employed, then you don't benefit from human resources. And a lot of us just don't see opportunity. And all that insecurity will have you stuck at the door like you work in security. And these are the things that we have to contend with. The fact that nobody cares until you end up in intensive. A phone call can easily save lives, if not even a message. You don't have to end up like Smeagol to realize why a ring's so precious. But let's talk about social media. There's no need for pretending how man want to stunt for the gram and birds follow anything that's trending. Realize that it's not just DMs. You got to look at the message you're sending. We got young kids losing their senses because they're out here living under pretenses. You ain't got to tell lies to be living one. You can post up 1 million pictures and still not see the bigger one. See, it's all about likes and followers, and we don't realize we're living wrong. And just by pushing this legacy, we don't realize we're killing one. And trust me, I've had enough of that. But there's no point getting the hump, because you ain't no camel, but sometimes you got to double back. Think outside of the box, because if you're fragile, you're going to need more than bubble wrap. Now, we invest our time when really we should be cutting back. But just like the NFL, a lot of us keep on running back, and we don't take into account. Instead of chasing the future, we got everyone chasing the clout. I used to think that the future was bright. I can't even say that's a shout. These days, I'm feeling like Samuel Jackson, because I now have reasonable doubt. Because I've seen people get so many compliments. Thank you. Because I've seen people get so many compliments, but in real life be lacking in confidence. You got to be mindful of hate and not walk around with a mindful of hate. You see, social media glorifies money, and that's something hard to escape. I know guys that ain't diabetic, but are the type 2 die for the cake.
Bring it back again, please.
I said, I know guys that ain't diabetic, but are the type 2 die for the cake.
Oi.
And just like being a dog on a racetrack, you go round in circles and not realize what you're chasing is fake. That's round one.
No matter what you say, your kid ain't gonna, like, they're gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day.
It's true. It's true. I
have to
give
learn
it
by
to you.
yourself.
You know what the beautiful...
Every parent thinks they can change their kid. Your kid, no matter what, they might say, yeah, I'm not gonna do this. They're still gonna go out and do it at the end of the day. They're just not gonna let you know. But I would just say be truthful with your parents. And I feel like I've been very truthful with my parents. My dad knows most things. Most things.
You know that, I said this earlier, yeah, my mom was my superhero, right? Rest in peace, my mom. And the one thing I'm learning now at a later age is she was human. She was allowed to make mistakes. I shouldn't take it so personal. And I'm only learning this now at a later age. And I just want the younger ones in here to understand that your parents will always have you like a superhero, but they're human and will make mistakes. But the one thing, Tay, there's nobody in this building apart from your mum that wants you to do better than them. Apart from me and your mum. You know? I need you to understand that. I need the kids to understand your parent just wants the best in you. I saw something on a reel the other day, right? And he said, my mum used to say I can't have Coke. I've got to come in when it gets dark. And he said, I always was getting pissed off at her, and I felt like I was hating her because she just didn't want me to have fun. Then he grew up. Then he became a man. And you know what he realized when he became a man? Young buck, I'm talking to you with the light, the intelligent one. Do you know what happened? He said, "Raw, my mum didn't want me to drink Coke because it wasn't good for me. She was just protecting. My mum wanted me to come in the evening because if I don't have enough sleep, how do I operate the next day?" All parents want is the best for you, even if you think we're coming at you. And I need you to understand that. Sometimes our delivery is wrong, our approach is wrong. Big man, where are you? I see you. We talked in the toilet, yeah? I see you. You think your mum's approach is wrong sometimes. And you know what? As adults, we have to take accountability. Because sometimes we're nostalgic with the way we was brought up. But those habits, those ways we was brought up, they don't work nowadays. You got to remember that your young ones, they are getting a lot of information fed at them prematurely, quickly, without guidance. It's a different era now. That's an adaptation for us parents. I just wanted to say that quickly.
We started doing YouTube in when I was like year 7, I think, 12. Started doing YouTube, then we stopped. And then started, as a teenager, your mind just changes and you're around certain people and, not that I'm not around the same people, but like, my mindset was very different, where I didn't actually want to be on camera. Like, and if anything, I thought it was just gonna bring me more problems in life. Like, and I probably because I cared about what people think of me, innit? At the start. Because I kind of felt like I had like not a mad reputation, but like, I felt like it just opened up a different, like too much, so people can see too much of me. But Dad kept on pushing on and I just wanted to kind of please him. So I was just like, all right, cool, we'll do it. But I didn't think no one was gonna see it anyway. I thought we're not gonna do nothing. And we just done one video and it got like 10K. And obviously, Dad's energy is high. Like, he's sitting in the front room saying, yeah, I'm gonna give you 8 months of my life, he's saying, I'm gonna give you 12 months of my life. I think this guy's just chatting so much bro,
So I can let that swear word slide because it's context.
Yeah.
I'll let that one slide because it's context.
So I'm thinking this guy's just chatting so much. Keeps on talking on social media. We've done one thing, we've done 10K. Then we kept on going and it kept on doing good. And then I was thinking like, all right, it's cool, I was just running with it. And I never actually really wanted to do it. Like, I used to never want to edit. I just used to want to jump on camera and film and go out. Like, it would be a struggle for Dad to even try and get me to film because I can't be bothered. Like, because it wasn't something I really wanted to do. But then you see that when I started, and then some stuff happened behind the scenes that people don't know. And I started to kind of change my mindset thinking, I ain't ever really gonna get anywhere in life. Started looking at people around me. You can have everything and go back to nothing when you're doing certain things. Like, I would say my boss, like at work, has also influenced me a lot. Because sometimes, you know, when you're coming from Dad, it's like, oh, like, you're just talking, like, oh, it's long. But when you're coming from someone who's like, not just my uncle, but like my friend, kind of, you start to see things more, and he's been through a lot. So I was just thinking, I might get to somewhere and be doing well, and then just go back to having nothing. So I just thought, let me just believe in Dad. And then I started wanting to do more editing and pushing videos. Started getting a little paycheck, nothing mad, but just a little bit. And I thought, yeah, we can run with this. And now we're at 100K. So to be honest,
Make some noise for Father Conversation. Come on.
Do you know?
So to be honest, Dad, this guy is the reason why we're here. It's nothing. Yeah, I might be part of the product with me and Dad, but he's the real reason why we are here. Because in the start, I never believed in it. I never really wanted it. I wasn't enthusiastic about it. I didn't really care for it. I just done it to please him and just go out after. And leave him to edit till the night. So the guy would go and work and edit it, and I'm thinking, this guy's just mad. Like why? Like, with like, the guy saying he's giving me 12 months of my life. I think this guy just is a nutter. But it's been 8 months, I'm at 100K. So,
Make some noise.
So without my dad, I'll probably be doing things I shouldn't be doing. because when you grow up in an area or when you're around people, it's very easy to get influence. But that's probably the only reason why I feel like I don't need to do nothing. Even though sometimes it can be tempting, it's like I've just got to believe and go with the process because I feel like big things are coming. One thing about that is he's very intact with his emotions. Man's crying, you can just say thank you Tay and move on, but it's the truth. Without that, we wouldn't be here because I didn't really want to do this. But now, I love it. So, I thank you, Dad, and I love you.
I started social media with my son because I saw my son come in with his phone or he'd go on his computer and how can I flip social media on its head? All right, cool. He looked up to LV, Mullah Bailey, his uncle, Bailey London.
No, but the thing is, that is the beauty of this. He's not making content and he's not taking the piss. He genuinely can't do anything.
No, I'm making content.
Yeah, you think so?
I said to Tay, if we're going to do this, you're going to have to learn how to edit. So I'm going to upskill him while we bond. So he learned how to edit. Tay can use Final Cut Pro like the back of his hand. And upskilling him at the same time as bonding with him and spending time with him and turning social media on its head, for me was the greatest thing. Now, that worked for me. I think there's other children that have other skills or other loves or other things, whether it be creative, whether it be sport. And all I can say to parents is, home in on what they like to do or home in what they're interested to do and try and do it with them in any way you can. And I'm not saying that you have to go out there and be on the football pitch and kick the ball, but be on the sideline though. My mum was a mum that sent me to football with the football coach. She didn't come and sit on the sidelines with me. So for me, that was where our story started. And I remember we done this, do you remember our first video? That talk.
We've been doing some things with Bailey London and big up Bailey London first of all. And he's inspiring Tay to do these vlogs. Cool. So let's do this thing.
Yo, you lot, my first video.
It's peak though.
Why?
Because we gotta have that talk.
Our very first video where he put a condom on, what I done was I broke down that laugh and that kicker and that stigma around putting a condom on. So when he was in sex ed and the people outside were still laughing and felt intimidated by it and he went in, the teacher phoned us and said, can you please thank Tay? Because without Tay, the class would not have come in and participated in this lesson. So what I say to parents is have these awkward, taboo conversations from early.
Yeah, I was showing off like, yeah, boy.
See, this boy. And this is what it produces. But you know what? It's better to have a child that's confident around sex than a child that's not confident. That goes for boy or girl. And I think that the taboo around this subject needs to be broken. To finish the show, I just want to thank each and every one of you for believing in us, for supporting us, and for getting us here. And please, be proud of yourselves because real recognize real. Peace.
It makes it easier to bear. You won't regret it, no. Young girls, they don't forget it. Love is their home, happiness, yeah. drop.